Hey guys, a very early good morning to you and welcome back to my channel. This is Tana and today we're going to make two cards with Catherine Pooler's Poignant Poppies stamp set. So this first card, I'm just going to take this piece of, it's like a plastic template that I made myself, and I'm just going to trace it. I centered it in the middle of the paper or cardstock. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, guys. You'll have to bear with me. But I'm behind on editing 3 videos. And I had to rush to get this one done because I noticed it's been 6 days since I put a video out. This first flower or poppy, we're going to use Tiara. Maybe that one's Tiki Torch. I know I did them in different variations of color. So for the first two, it would be Tiara, then Orange Twist, and then Tutti Frutti. And I like these layers, but I'll tell you, I would have been lost without that sheet of paper up to the left there. It didn't come in the stamp set, but it did come in the package. And it comes in pretty handy, because these things were all over the place in the stamp set. And one of the reasons I used, before I say that, I used Morning Mist Versifying Clear ink, for the outline on those two. Okay, so one of the reasons I bought this stamp set was because I don't have very many stamp sets to make sympathy cards with, and like no sympathy sentiments at all, except for on one Alta New stamp set that I bought that I haven't had a chance to use yet. There's a lot on there that would make good encouragement and sympathy cards. So for this second set of poppies here, I used rose petals first, and the second layer is rouge. Third layer is peppermint scrub. Oh, I'm so tired, you guys, but I wanted to make sure that I get this uploaded so that even if I pass out before I upload it to YouTube, at least it'll be ready for me to upload it when I wake up in the morning. And the dog's moving around. And we had our first nice day in a while here. It was 78 degrees when it was all said and done by the end of the day. But when I woke up this morning, it was 51. Riley, I put Riley on Instagram because she was singing Panic at the Disco. And she's got her hoodie on, and it's all zipped up to her chin, and she's got the hood covering her entire head like she's freezing to death. And it's June, guys. June. And I think I used the Morning Mist also to outline the red poppies. So now I'm going to do some of the leaves, but they look more like ferns to me. They go with the poppies. The first layer is Lime Ricky. The second layer is Grass Skirt. And I don't remember what I used for the third layer. I think it's more Versifying Claire Green Oasis, I think I used, because I don't have a third green in the party collection yet. I do like this stamp set. If you're not careful though, it's depending on what colors you use, it can be hard to line them up. Like that first layer of yellow, it was so light, it was hard to line up the other layers over it. And I just start to show you after this, the beginnings of each thing going all the way around to try and move this card along a little bit. But I didn't want to skip it all entirely, because if I did, I would have never remembered what colors I used. And I wanted you guys to see my process. Now that I have the luxury of editing, I have to say, now that I know how to use my program personally to edit, I find myself wanting to learn more things. Like, I wish I could show you everything I did and just put it in fast forward mode, but I don't know how to do that. Maybe someday. Those stems, there's a center and then the outline, which is nice. But they're kind of curved in the stamp set itself along the bottom, and that means that you have to line them up, put them on your stamp block or MISTI, and then line them up again to make sure they're following the way you stamped your first part of the stem. So that was a little annoying. But what are you going to do? If you want a stem, you got to work with it. For this second set of yellow poppies, I used shea butter. That's the first layer. And you have to, I have a couple videos, not this one, but a couple videos coming up. And that's Tiki Torch, that's the second layer, where I have a new camera holder, well, phone holder, and I'm trying it out. So my camera is maybe closer and in a different position. I'm trying to figure out where it fits best on my desk. It's what I was looking for. It's definitely what I was looking for. But it's not as long. The arm of it is not as long as I thought it would be, so I'm having a little bit of an issue, which is probably why I'm up so late tonight, because I must have tried it in like 4 different positions, and 2 hours later, I finally got to get going on my cards. So I don't think I showed you guys yet, but I do have some stuff that I got from Ink Road Stamps, and also a couple stamp sets from Honeybee. It was my first time ordering from Honeybee Stamps or buying Honeybee Stamps. So I'll probably put that stuff into the next video. And I'm almost done gathering the prizes for this month's giveaways, and that will be in a video sometime during the upcoming week. Now those other ferns I stamped on there, I did them in the different greens from the Spa collection. So I used seafoam and sage and then spruce, because there was too much white space for me. I needed some more greenery. So the point of putting that circle in the center was so that I kept some white space and that it looked somewhat centered, because I knew that's where I wanted my sentiment to go. And the sentiment I chose for this was, I think, the one that said, "Lest we forget." I wanted the long one for this card, but it wouldn't fit. It was just too long to go in the circle that I left myself. And I just stamped that with some VersaFine Nocturne ink, VersaFine Clair. That ink, that brand of inks has such long names, I always say it wrong. I always mix it up. And then I just used my tape runner, and I think I started to put it flat to the... Did I put this one flat to the card? Yeah, it was the second one that I thought looked weird. So I added a matte, and if you can see, I added in there, I always double check my card base orientation, because I never want to make the same mistake I did in the beginning when I first started making cards, which is putting it on backwards. Okay, I forgot this was coming up. Mary Polanco and Corin Wiskman are doing their second On the Make event. It's called Christmas in July, and it's in Morehead City, North Carolina. It's going to be on Saturday, July 20th, 2019, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So they doubled the amount of crafty time. I'm pretty sure tickets are $99 a piece. Any other information that you guys want, you can go to Corin Wiskman's YouTube channel, and they did a video with all the information you could want. And there's also a Facebook page, I believe, for On the Make Crafty event. So if you guys want to look that up, I had a blast, and I wish I was going this time. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to raise the money or drive there. That's way too far. It's like 12 hours. I can't do that by myself. So, okay, moving on. So here I am. I'm going to stamp out the same type of poppy. I'm not going to do the other one. Just this one here, which makes me think of a kind of more closed poppy in 3 shades of blue. I used the stone blue, and then I used something borrowed, and then I used juniper mist. And I thought that was a pretty good combination. I know something borrowed is a party collection color, and the other two are spa, but I still thought they looked good together. And I'm pretty sure I use seafoam, either seafoam and spruce or sage and spruce for the stem. See me having a hard time with that stem there? I wanted to keep it straight enough where I didn't have to mess with the outline too much afterwards. And after we stamp these all out, I'm going to stamp some of the fern looking leaves. I don't know if they're ferns or leaves, guys. Somebody want to let me know in the comments below, please. I don't know if it's because my brain's not functioning or what. You know, it is 4 a.m. I'll be going to sleep when the rest of you are getting up. But we're going to be fussy cutting all of these out. I was too lazy to pull the brother out and dig the mat out and take the plastic piece off and then make sure my cards were sticking. You know what? I was thinking to myself, sidetrack, squirrel. I wonder if pixie dust would work, pixie dust spray for stencils, the new spray, would work on your brother's scan mat when it loses its tack. I have to look into that. Alright, so here I am lining up the outline of that one. I thought I edited this out, and I'm not going to go back now because then that means I'm going to have to do my voiceover all over again, but I promise you guys won't have to suffer through much more because I know I cut the rest of it out after the first flower and I think a couple leaves at the very end of the leaves. Like I stamped a whole bunch and then showed you like the last one. The last layer of the last one. See? Told you. I remembered that part. And the ferny leaves were also done in spot colors. Looks like seafoam, sage, and spruce. I do stamp out another. I blew my own cover. Look at that. I did do a different poppy. So I did 2 of the closed one and 1 of the wider open one, and then decided to stamp out another because I work in odds, not evens. I don't know why, but you'll notice on most of my cards, if it's something where there's like 3 or 5, I don't put 4. I put 3 or 5. I'm weird like that. I don't know. I always count my sequins and gemstones and stuff and always make sure I have an odd number. I don't know why that is. It just looks more pleasing to me. So here I am, dragging through that third flower. I do not know why I left this in. Hopefully I cut the rest of it out soon. So what else besides good weather? Nothing much is going on, guys. I was very happy with my video for the Save the Crafty YouTuber video hop. Aside from my voiceover, I was very pleased and just taken aback, blown away by the number of comments and the amount of support that I received. I mean, you guys, I love you guys. All my subscribers, you're very supportive. You make me feel good. Even when I think I've done a horrible job, you guys are there to support me and pat my back. So I want to thank you all for that. I already know my voiceovers have gotten a little bit better. I may misspeak a lot, but I feel more comfortable doing them, which I knew would happen. You know, that first one, it was just tough, and unfortunately it was for the Save the Crafty YouTuber video hop. So I put a black mat on this one, and I have this green. I know that one was covered with sage ink, and I think it was from the last Catherine Pooler video I did. It was the leftover middle from the inside of one of the framed cards, but I still felt like it was missing something. So I go in with my juniper mist and I do another colored background. I really like her ink for this, for making your own matching backgrounds or mats for your cards. It turns out really good. And even if your ink looks splotchy when you rub it on, you hit it with a heat gun and it all evens out. So it's all good. I do want to get more of her inks. I already have a shopping cart waiting and ready from scrapbook.com for the next time I can order stuff. Ooh, I got big news too. Big news to you guys. If you're on my Instagram, you follow my Instagram, you probably already know this, but I got rid of my Sizzix machine and I now have a Gemini Junior. I'm thoroughly excited. I have not had time to play with it yet because I was doing editing videos and catching up on 4 cards I was making, but I plan on using that sucker tomorrow. And making Jax's invitations. The poor kid's birthday was the middle of May and we still haven't had his birthday party. So I really got to get that done. But I was also waiting for, looking and looking and looking for a stamp set that I could use to make his invites, and I just wasn't finding something that was him. Do you know what I mean? Okay, so I put the juniper mist background on top of the black mat, and then I popped this one. You see all those little pieces of foam tape? Ask me why I use all them little pieces instead of a big roll of foam tape. Why? It's because Jackson tore them all off my Dollar Tree roll of foam tape, so I had to use them up. So here I was sitting there picking off every single one. Don't worry, I spared you guys. You don't have to watch me do all that. So I popped that up, put it in the center. I think that's stitched too. I think I used when I cut that out in the other video, it's a Lawn Fawn stitch rectangle die. Now I use that paragraph looking sentiment, and don't ever do what I just did. Do not ever stamp your very long, very scripty sentiment out on a panel that is already stuck to your card and popped up with foam tape. Not a good idea, guys. You can see it. See that? Duh. I just give myself a great big duh right there. Big fat duh. So I just took a very small Sharpie permanent marker, and thank God my hand was steady that night because that script is really, really beautiful. But I did manage not to screw it up. Some of the lines may be a tiny bit thicker, but it's not enough to notice. And hey, you know what, guys? It's a handmade card. It's like some of those ferns on the first card. The top layer of the ferns, the outline, was off on some of them. You know what? It's a handmade card, guys. You gonna send it back to me because my ferns weren't lined up correctly? Alright, so now I just arranged these 3 poppies and the fern leaves the way I want on the front panel. But I do it so that the stems are only sticking off of the center panel, and I snip them right off. They don't go all the way down to the bottom of the card. And I'm using my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive because it dries quick. I sound like I'm getting sick, but really, guys, it's been happening to me off and on, and I really did think I was getting sick. It's this weather, but I think it's allergies, because one day it's nice and all the pollen's all around, and the next day, psh, and I do live by the woods, so unfortunately, summer's brutal for me. I think like everything environmental in my area of New York State, I'm allergic to almost all of it. 3 pages of environmental allergies, and I didn't even know about it until last year. So when I glue those poppies down, I just leave the stems up a little bit. I did put glue on them, but I left it up so I could tuck the edges of the fern leaves right inside, and they would be covered up. So I just have the block sitting there on it. Make sure it's dry. And then we're just going to snip all of those stems off. I want to thank you guys for watching this video with me today. And if you like what you see and you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. And like I said, I have another giveaway coming up. We have giveaways every month. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway and know when it is, be sure to hit that notification button. And follow me on Instagram to see more cards at Tanalo House. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Like I just said it, I already said it, but I want to make sure I get it in there. Because I always get to the end of the video, and then I feel like I'm rushing saying it all. I forgot that I did put some clear round Studio Katia drops on there. Just place some on the leaves of the ferns, some on the leaves of the poppies, and then used my Amazon worthy crystal katana Amazon version, there you go, to pick up those clear round gems and put some glossy accents underneath. And then that's it for this card. And now I don't have to say any of that stuff about subscribing and hitting the notification button because I already did it. So there. Oh, and there's two giveaways this month, you guys, for the month of June, and that's thanks to the winner of last month, Brina Bergen, who wanted to share her prize with somebody else. But rather than split that one up and not have a very good prize for either one of them, I decided to do two this month and dedicate it to her. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe, happy, healthy weekend. And who knows, since I'm behind two videos, you might see another one this weekend. So hopefully we will see each other again soon. Don't forget to comment below. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.